All right, so I waited a really long time to make this dish, you guys. I have no idea why I waited so long. I think it's because it was trending, and I pretty much hate trends and balk at all trends. It's the Gen X in me. I can't help it. But I finally made this dish that I'm about to show you. I can't believe it took me so long to do it. It's one of the best weeknight meals that I've ever had, and now I keep it permanently in my rotation. Every time my family walks in the house after I've made this, they say, "Oh my God, it smells like a Greek cafe in here, Mom. It's so delicious." Are you kidding me? This hardly took me any time, any effort at all. So I really hope you don't wait nearly as long as me to make it. Speedy sheet pan köfte. So like with so many good dishes, it always starts with an onion. Here I'm using a red onion. I find them a bit milder and sweeter. And honestly, it was what I had on hand. So I decided to go with that. You know, traditionally in these type of köfte recipes, these Middle Eastern meatball recipes, a lot of times the onion is grated, where you get kind of a mash of onion and you squeeze out all the extra onion juice and you only put that onion mash into the meatball recipe. That just seemed like too much work for me, so I just diced an onion. So do what's easiest for you. This is dicing a red onion. It worked out really well for me. I was afraid there would be too much liquid because those onions will break down when you bake it. But it ended up being really good. It wasn't really a big deal. Here I have parsley and some mint. These are kind of two key ingredients to get that Mediterranean flavor with those fresh herbs. If you don't like either one of them, leave them out. Either one of those, leave them out, but I really think they are essential to the flavor. You can also do cilantro if you wanted. This is a fair bit of herbs for the 2 pounds of meat that I'm using. This is maybe a whole cup, 3/4 of a cup of fresh herbs. Mint leaves and parsley, but I think it's just key. It makes it absolutely delicious and fresh. So we're just dumping everything into a bowl. It's our diced onion, our parsley, and the mint. And then I went ahead and did some garlic as well. I just minced it here. Pretty basic and straightforward. You can use jarlic. Is that what they call it? Jarred garlic. I don't like jarred garlic. I don't think it tastes very good. This fresh garlic is really the key. It's my favorite, and hey, it doesn't really take that long, and I don't even bother to go that fine with it. Remember, this is a lazy weeknight meal. Look at that size. It's not even that minced. It worked just fine for me. Now I'm going to show you the rest of what I add. This is 2 pounds of ground chicken. I like dark meat. It tastes better. It has more nutrients in it. I get it straight from the farmer. It has more nutrients and amazing flavor. Then some sea salt. I add about 3/4 of a teaspoon of fine sea salt per pound of meat. Next comes the mixing. I don't mind mixing raw meat with my bare hands. I just wash my hands really, really well afterwards, and I don't have long nails, so it's not really a big deal. You can see how I'm kind of folding everything into the meat and smashing it down with my knuckles. That really kind of breaks down the meat a little bit more into a smaller texture, smaller size, so it affects the texture, and it just really makes sure everything is ground up in there. You can use a food processor or something. It will make the texture a lot different. I prefer the texture of this slightly bigger size. If you were to put it in a food processor, it would be a lot pastier. I don't love that pasty texture in the finished product. So this is just a 1/4 size sheet pan, and I just put a little bit of olive oil on there to prevent sticking. And look, that's all it is. It's like a meatloaf, you guys, except I'm like flattening it out. That's pretty much what I'm doing here. This is my Mediterranean meatloaf smashed. I gotta come up with a better name. Anyways, just a 1/4 sheet pan, and I take that mixture you just saw, which the 2 pounds of ground chicken, red onion, parsley, mint, salt, pepper. I didn't even put any spices in this. This is more Mediterranean, a little bit less Middle Eastern. So if you want to throw some spices in, go ahead, but this is delicious just as is. And then I used my bench scraper. This is something that's used a lot in baking, but it has kind of a edge on it, so it was really easy to cut these. And cutting them before you bake them is key to get nice pieces that come out at the end that you can either put in a wrap, or you'll see at the end I do a plate that has a salad. So I kind of squared off those edges too, to make it so it doesn't stick so much when it is a finished dish. And there you go. And then I bake it. I think that might be the air fry setting on my toaster oven. I don't know. 450 for 15 minutes. That's all I did. How easy could it be? And while that cooks, I'm getting everything else ready. I had these beautiful cherry tomatoes left from the farmer's market, so I'm going to use those for a topping. So get your tomatoes ready. They're good for acidity and a little bit of sweetness and that umami flavor too. So it's nice to have the tomatoes. Now I'm going to make the tahini sauce that I make. I just use a little bit of tahini there, some fresh lemon. I put garlic in there as well. I know it looks like I'm whisking nothing, but you just kind of get everything incorporated. And I start with a really small amount. There's the garlic going in. I grate it in. And this is a game of just adding a little bit at a time until you get the right texture and flavor and consistency. Sometimes it's too much, sometimes it's too little, and then you just go back and forth adding tahini, lemon, a little bit of water, some garlic, some salt. See, there's my water going in until you get a consistency. And note that tahini will thicken up once it sits for a while. So take note of that. Some cucumber. I have some beautiful Japanese cucumber here. You don't have to take the seeds out. That's what I like about them. And I like to do the stripy peel on there. So add a little bit of crunch, or leave a little bit of crunch and texture, and I think some beautiful color behind. And the skin on these is not bitter at all. So I just cut them into strips and then cut them into small pieces. This is going to go in my tzatziki sauce, which will be on the side. I don't put garlic in my tzatziki because I have the garlic and the tahini sauce. I don't like everything super garlicky. I like my tzatziki really fresh and with just a few simple ingredients. And again, I don't grate my cucumber. Here, I just put it into small pieces. This is like a whole small to medium Japanese cucumber. Throw it in the bowl. And then I add my whole milk yogurt. Always whole milk. It tastes better, has a way better mouthfeel, and it's actually better for you. That's it. Cucumber and yogurt. That's it. Diced cucumber and yogurt. The other ingredient I'm going to add is some dried oregano from my garden. This is actually a za'atar oregano. It's a Middle Eastern oregano. It has a really nice flavor to it. And then this is my baked köfte. You guys look at that. They just come right out of the pan like that, I promise. So delicious. I can smell this. It smells so good. That mint, the parsley, the onion, the garlic. And I'm just making a salad plate here. If you had rice, that would be great. See, look, my tahini sauce thickened up after I let it sit. You'll learn the ways of the tahini sauce, I promise. You got to play with it a little bit. I just made a salad plate or a bowl. There's my tzatziki, tomatoes. I had some pitted Kalamata olives, and then the pepperoncini to finish it off. So good.